Welcome back to my second channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to use your insecurities to your advantage, use your flaws to your advantage, and maybe even weaponize them. In a world where uniqueness is becoming increasingly rare and everyone looks the same, and we're not just talking about facially with filler, but we're talking personality wise. I mean, look at people's personality on the internet right now. It's like everyone is just a doppelganger of one another. If someone starts to joke in one particular way, another person starts to joke. Little anecdote, if you guys are like OG followers of mine on my main channel, I started off not in self-help, I was a vlogger, and I blew up really fast in 2019 because my humor at the time was super duper rare. And I remember in high school when I was posting these types of videos, people would laugh at me and be like, "You're so weird." And it was actually like really embarrassing for me to post this, but ultimately I was being myself. And because of that, people resonated with me, and then my following quickly grew. So that is an example of, number one, how you can embrace your insecurities. I was really insecure because I thought I was super weird. I mean, guys, I used to wear a clown wig in my videos. Anyways, the point is now I look online and how I was acting in like 2016 to 2019, everyone on the internet acts like that now. It's like a trend because people just copy one another. And actually, I think the more people online try to be like goofy and silly now, I've actually drifted more away from that, and I'm more like serious. Just kidding. But the point I'm trying to make is, don't follow the herd, go against the grain. If you follow what everyone else is doing, you're not ever going to stand out, and ultimately you're not being yourself, and then people can't resonate with you. I think it's so difficult now to become a content creator, especially because everyone is exactly the same. The people who are unique, they are the ones who actually go the furthest. I want to make another point. I personally have never felt the need to be like other people. Maybe this is an Aquarius thing, but I try to be as different as possible. Yeah, I know, I'm so annoying, whatever. But I love it, and that's ultimately gotten me to where I am and taken me to different places in life. I'll give you an example. I moved to Dubai, is basically Miami, which means every girl has a BBL, they have so much filler in their face, and they look really fake. And then there's me. Look at me. I'm a skinny legend. Hello? I'm a skinny legend. I don't look like I belong in Dubai. I was at the club a few weeks ago, one of my first time clubbing in Dubai, and all the girls around the table, they were so hot, but yeah, they were very Miami looking, like BBL, lots of filler, and I actually did not feel insecure at all. Like, despite everyone adhering to a different beauty standard that I did not succumb to, I did not feel insecure. I actually felt even more confident knowing that I was different in that group. You need to learn to embrace feeling different. And actually that night I met some amazing people because they came up to me and they were like, "Oh, we can tell you don't have that like Dubai vibe." If you live here, you know what I mean. There is like this vibe here of girls always going for money and then men only going for like beauty and looks. It's very like superficial, but people have that vibe here. And yeah, I met amazing people because they simply came up to me and was like, "We can tell you don't have that vibe." And if I did have that vibe, I would be attracting a very different crowd. So the point is, you should never try to change who you are fundamentally, and ultimately your vibe attracts your tribe. I have this friend and she's like, "I feel really insecure because I don't look like the other people in Dubai, and maybe I should try and get filler." And I'm like, "Bruv," I'm like, first of all, you need to stop having FOMO with this stuff. You are uniquely you, okay? And what do you want to attract? Whether you like it or not, changing your physical appearance and changing your behavior is going to attract a different crowd. And I really said to her, "Do you want to attract like that Dubai crowd?" Not really. Okay, and secondly, being like everyone else is boring. It's simply boring. You're boring, you're bland, and you're not unique. You should never try to change who you are. You came to this earth for a reason, with a special gift. Whether you like it or not, we all have a unique purpose on here. If I conformed when I was 16, when I was starting YouTube, if I didn't make those videos, I would have never even blown up. I would have been another person who was just trying to make it on the internet. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Now guys, if you're struggling to feel confident with your insecurities, I highly recommend checking out BetterHelp. Thank you to BetterHelp for sponsoring this video. BetterHelp is the world's largest online therapy service provider with over 30,000 licensed therapists in their network. All you need to do is fill out a questionnaire, and usually within 48 hours, BetterHelp will have paired you with the perfect therapist for you. Once you are matched with a therapist, you can then either schedule a video call, or you can text with them, and you can also text with them anytime throughout the week, which I love. Therapy is like dating, as I always say, which means, in my opinion, it's unlikely your first therapist or even a couple will not be suited for you. I mean, you're telling them your deepest, darkest secrets. You might not vibe with them. For me, I think I've had 5 therapists in my life, and I've only vibed with one of them. So I personally use BetterHelp as well. And my first therapist, not good. My second one though, I was able to choose her. So if you go to click, I want a new therapist, you can actually scroll through a bunch of them, read their profiles, see their credentials, and then match with them. And it's free of charge to change. They also have financial aid available because they're committed to helping everyone get affordable therapy. So guys, go check out my link right here to get 10% off your first month of therapy with BetterHelp. I also want to add, I understand that it is difficult to embrace your flaws. And one tip I have is to avoid friends who pick out those flaws or make you feel bad for it. And also try to avoid being friends with self-conscious people. For example, there was a girl I knew, and she got, oh my god, she was like the most self-conscious person I ever knew. She had very minor flaws, okay? I wouldn't even call them flaws, but to her, these little things were so big, and they were actually things most people had. Like, I had these flaws, and because I was like, I don't want to change this, she would look at me and be like, and if we take a photo, she would actually ask me, do you want me to like cut out the flaw so you're not in it? And she would make me feel bad about something I'm not even insecure about. And you just can't have people like that around. They're pushing their insecurities onto you, and as a friend, you can't help but thinking that person is always judging me. I know when my friend has an insecurity, I make them feel good about it. I'm like, dude, like no one's gonna notice. Like, don't worry, it's not a big deal. And it usually isn't. One thing that's important to remember is we focus on ourselves so much because we're us, okay? But people actually don't care. People aren't looking at it, and if they look at it, it's just like a 1 second thought and you're gone. They're not going home and like, oh my god, guess what? I just saw like Jessica has like 1 yellow tooth. And they're not gonna go to bed and be like, oh my god, that yellow tooth, like wow. And anyone who picks out your insecurities, they're simply projecting onto you. It's like, go get a life. You wish you had this confidence. Additionally, you don't have to call something a flaw or insecurity, because by calling it that, you're actually giving it power. And it's completely subjective what a flaw or insecurity is. For example, in terms of beauty standards, perhaps your nose is like a little bit bigger than average. And because of that, you're like, I need a nose job. My nose is big. Everyone is looking at my nose. But still, it's entirely subjective. Some people probably like, and you should learn to accept yourself. And if you don't, change it. If you really think you cannot ever accept something about yourself, change it. You have the power to. Standing out is what is going to get you far in life, and you do not stand out by copying other people and by following the herd. You need to find power to be yourself. It's also why a lot of dating videos, when they tell you to act a particular way with a man or a woman, I don't think that's optimal. Like, it doesn't always lead to a healthy relationship, because ultimately from day one, you want them to see you for you and accept you for you. If you're putting on this facade and trying to play this character to like get the boy or get the girl, that will fizzle over time. You're going to have to keep up this act, and in the process you're going to lose who you are. Personally, I have some things I'm really insecure about, and when I get close to being in a relationship with someone, these insecurities really come out. But I had to keep reminding myself, like, everyone has little insecurities or idiosyncrasies. They don't define who I am. And if my partner doesn't accept these things about me, then do I really want a partner so superficial like that, when my partner should be lifting me up? So a lot of people, they'll instead try to hide these insecurities or fix it to appease their partner, when actually they should be like, you need to accept me for who I am. I remember when I was 12 and I loved to take photos of myself. I remember my friends and I would get our little camera, snap 100 pics every time we went out. And when I would upload onto Instagram, it wasn't a matter of, did I even get a pic I liked? It was a matter of, what picture am I gonna upload? Because I look fire in every single one. I love every pic. Because I didn't even know what insecurities were at that age. It wasn't until I started to use social media, and social media is what plants these seeds into your head that there is something wrong, there's something you have to fix. As a woman, there is something for us to fix every day. One day I'll just realize, oh, I gotta fix this about myself, which I don't, but it's because of social media. And I remember when I was 12, 13, I would look in the mirror and I would just find things I loved about myself. I was like, oh my God, I love my smile. I was like, my teeth are so naturally straight. I love my smile. And I just thought I was like a queen. I just thought I was like the most beautiful girl ever when I was 12. If someone didn't like me, I actually would be confused. I'd be like, how do they not like me? I'm perfect. That's the confidence we all need to embody. And the reason that confidence went away is because of social media. If social media or society didn't say to us that we need a Wolfie Cindy nose, do you think a 12-year-old back in 2012 is going to know what the hell a Wolfie Cindy nose is? I mean, watch any TV show or movie from back in the day. People's foreheads are moving, their lips are smaller, they look natural. Watch the old Victoria's Secret shows. They all looked natural, and now people don't. It's sad that we feel pressured to change because of societal expectations, but I think ultimately changing is giving into those societal expectations. I think if you want to change something about you, you should do it for you, and you should do it because it's going to make you feel more confident. Do not let other people tell you what to do with your life or your face. And if you like something about yourself, don't change it. And if other people don't accept you, then you need to go where you are accepted. Because if you keep conforming and conforming, you're going to attract the wrong crowd. And do you want to attract the wrong crowd? No. You want to accept, and you deserve, people who love you for who you are, accept you for who you are, and embrace you. And that's ultimately going to bring you the most happiness as well. To have like-minded people around you where they encourage you to be yourself. So I hope you enjoyed this video, you guys. I will see you next time, and I'll see you next time. Tschüss.